everybody. Welcome back once again, Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. And we're going to roll over to the northwest part of Rutherford County, right here in Region 4, 6A football. And I've got on the phone with me the head coach of the Stewarts Creek Redhawks, head coach Ben Caudill. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Good, Stork. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, you've been in some thrillers here as of lately, and if there ever was a Greek tragedy, you were involved in it out at Rockville before the start of the fall break. Take me back to that night, please, Coach. And I know you don't want to relive it, but you throw them out there on the field. You had some kids and everything, and I know it was a great high school football game to be a part of out at Rockville.
Yeah, it was first matchup ever between the two schools.
Yeah.
And, kind of the first time I've ever been out over to Rockville on a Friday. Definitely played a good football team. They were coming off a big win over Nolensville and Lincoln County, several others. Rockville's had a great season, and, it was kind of back and forth there, in the first half. And second half, I think both teams kind of got settled into the game and that type of thing. And we made some mistakes there in the second half, had a touchdown that got called back. That was definitely a kind of
wow
swallow there towards the end of the game. But, I've tried to tell our guys there's a lot of different plays that go into, a high school ball game. And sometimes it's easy for, teenagers to kind of zoom in on one or two, but there's a lot that goes into it. And definitely give my hats off and credit to Rockville on a tremendous team that they have. Coach Rice is doing a great job, and So we've had a lot go on here this season. Stork, every we've played has been a 4-quarter ball game, and unfortunately, the one against Rockville didn't go our way.
Yeah, and that's kind of been your record. You're playing every Friday night. You're in it. I mean, you're not just getting off the bus and beating the fire out of teams, and and getting back and playing all your kids and everything. I mean, from the time they play the national anthem to the time the final buzzer, you're coaching your tail end off, and I mean, you're trying to keep everything. And it's not because your kids. It's just because the even flows of the game. It's the way your games have kind of rolled. And as we know, the football shaped funny, and sometimes it bounces your way and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, Stork, I think just for us, moving into a new league, and it don't matter who you talk to, Stork, this, and in this state, this county has always commanded a lot of respect, with a long history and tradition of, all the different schools in this county. And then you throw in some new schools like Stewarts Creek, Blackman, Rockville, Siegel, so on and so forth. And this is a tough region to play in. And, just for instance, last year for us, some really, really tough region games for us were Smyrna and Laverne. And now those are non-region games.
Yes.
And then you play a really good Franklin team. And, we got Wilson Central coming up non-region and, that type thing. And I've tried to tell our team multiple times that, Stork, no disrespect to our old region, but, this is a schedule this year where, coming off the last 2 years for us, there were a lot of phone calls I had to make for our 5 non-region games, and not to mention the region games that we have as well. There's just no off weeks for us unless it comes on fall break, if you know what I'm saying. So, you're exactly right. I mean, we've got a battle each week, and certainly that's going to be no different for us this Friday as well.
Yeah, and, this is a game that you just really got to be careful with. You just want to be focused. It is a region game, but most of all, you want to get back in the rhythm. And like you said, you had a touchdown call back, and you maybe made a couple of bad mistakes out at Rockville. I think the most important thing I'm hearing from you that you really want to go into this game and just really focus and play Stewarts Creek football, keep no turnovers, penalties at a minimum, and just when we get the football, let's score. I don't have a problem with long drives. I don't have a problem with short drives. Just when we get the football, let's score, and let's not make penalties when we're on defense, and let them have the ball and try to stop them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of respect for this Siegel team. I want to say it's year 2, maybe year 3, I don't remember which, for Coach Renshaw. He's I think he's coming up from Cleveland, down near Chattanooga. And
Yep.
I know he's coached in West Tennessee as well. And I mean, there is no doubt when you look at their team, just how improved they are. We didn't play them last year, but I mean, it just goes without saying how great a job he and really good team. Green Hill is I want to say they're 7-1, and they took defeat against Siegel, a really good team, Lebanon, that we've played the past 2 years. I think they're 7-1 as well, and they barely came out alive. I think it was a 7-point win against Siegel. Rockvale was in a really tight battle with Siegel as well. And, we know we got our hands full this Friday night against a really, really good football team that has, kind of like us, been in a lot of four-quarter ball games, and certainly a lot of respect on my end and our staff and team's end for, what's ahead of us this Friday night. And I do think there's some truth to what you said, though, as well, Stork. You always have to, put a thing or two in, for each ball game, just in reflection of all the things that go into a game, watching film and preparation and those types of things. But there's also, especially coming off of the fall break and a bye week and some time away, just for some internal reflection as well, and trying to, fix some issues within your own team schematically, within the locker room, and just being able to breathe out and reflect, at this point of the season with where we're at as a team.
Well, and, I was talking to Will Kreisky, and I kind of tried to poke at it, Coach, and say, are you going to run Elijah Herring Friday night against Oakland? And, he said, we might or might not. Well, I would. I'm not going to make anybody. If Coach Creasy asked me, I'd say, yeah, I'm going to run him. He's an SEC football player, and we're going to line him up and give him the football and see what he can do. No matter what, if I'm Coach Creasy, I'm throwing Jordan James. I'm throwing Isaiah Horton. If I'm Coach Creasy, I'm throwing Alex Mitchell. I'm throwing James. I'm throwing whatever the toys and the tools are, and as much of it as I can at you to see if I can win. Period.
Yeah, well, I think at this point, you gotta dig deep and find ways and figure out, what are the things that any team needs to do in big ball games, big region games this time of year to, gain an edge, and who are the guys that we need to maybe lean on a little bit more, special teams wise, how can you improve there?
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's kind of looking for that edge, and whatever it looks like is definitely what I think both teams are going to have to try and figure out, creatively this time of year, what to do come Friday night.
Well, and I just said, you put a senior in, you ask him make, Philip Shad-Owens, I heard him say many a times, get out there and make a play. You put a senior player in, you expect him to make a senior play. I mean, that's all. I expect you to get a first down. There's just no questions. I expect you to take this football and move it 5 yards. And, you've been at NBA, and you've been in a lot of places where that was the direct order, wasn't it, Coach? Even as a kid when you was coming up.
Yeah, Stork, I think that's what's great, in my opinion, about high school football is it don't matter, who is playing on, Saturdays within any locker room. Every team has those special kids that just have that heart of a senior.
Yeah.
And that just are going to spill their guts out every Friday night because they know this is, they just got a limited amount of time to play. And, some of the best high school football players, ironically, Stork, I think are some that, they aren't worried about next year. They're not worried about, getting recruited or anything like that. They're just worried about being a great teammate with the guys that they've grown up with and played middle school ball with and played little league baseball, those types of things. And so, we've got several of those guys that are just those glue guys in the locker room, that type thing. And I know there's several guys like that throughout every high school football team, and that's obviously what makes our game at the high school level really special.
Sonny Gray said that, he was invited to play in some all-star games and all that, and he said, no, my last football game was with my buddies when we won the state championship, and that'll be the last football game I play in, period, of, organized football. So, but I remember that very distinctively. Yeah, and those – it's just those were the guys that you went through 2 a days with or whatever, and all those long hot days and drinking warm water with grass and bugs and everything, and eating a sandwich that is not any good, and laughing about it, and then getting back up and getting back out there and practicing the game and trying to get better, and then you do it all to put that uniform on Friday night, and just the band to play, and I don't know how much the band will be playing Friday night. They're calling for rain, and I'm begging Coach Creasy and Coach Kreisky to move this game tomorrow night so we can play it without any rain. But I don't know what will happen here in Rutherford County. We got a 50-50 shot, Coach, but you know what Coach Creasy always says: rain on my side of the field, rain on there, Stork. That's going to be relevant Friday night. So that's the way he looks at it. So it'll be interesting, but you definitely need this game. I think it comes at the right time because you know who's lurking in the shadows down there. Your last game of the season, and you'll definitely have to be ready. I've seen a lot of them already this year. So I'm not looking ahead, but it's not going to be long, Coach. It's just right around the corner.
Yeah, it's definitely a one-game season, for us every week, and I know there's several more games to be played.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, Stork, we've lost 4 games, the past 2 years to COVID. Excuse me, and we just enjoy every opportunity that we get to play, and don't want to look ahead ever, given what we've lost, and definitely excited and blessed to be able to play this Friday night against a really, really good and well-coached Siegel football team.
Well, Coach, I can't thank you enough for participating on Inside the Headset. We always have fun. I appreciate your camaraderie, your friendship, and you leading kids and taking the time to be a part of high school football. I mean, it takes a lot of time. It guts your whole fall. I mean, last 21 falls, I've been involved in it, and I wouldn't trade a daggone one of them because I've got a string of friendships and laughs and good times. I was talking to somebody earlier about someone was asking me about hard losses, and I said, "Oh gosh, I've had them." I said, that last trip to Maryville. I mean, buddy, when Ty Nix took it in them, and I got in the car and said, "I'll never be back." That was one of the roughest losses I ever took. I mean, it cut me. It cut me deep. But but I hope you come away with a win. Hope the boys get out there and have a big time Friday night, and hopefully it isn't raining.
Hey, I appreciate that, Stork, and as always, man, we're super blessed here in Rutherford County to have a guy like you pouring a lot of time, give up your Friday nights to showcase these high schools and all that type thing, and we definitely appreciate everything you do, and appreciate you having me on as always.
Hey, it's just what I do. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know why. I was telling somebody earlier today, I said, I don't know why I do it or how I fell into it, but it appeared, it laid in my lap. I grabbed it, and I've been doing it, and I care, and, I want it to be right. I mean, I've got a lot of people behind me that they understand that, the first and foremost thing is get the broadcast out. Second and foremost thing is let's get the kid that ran the ball, and let's get the tackler, and it's a player's video first, and then a coach's video second, and we just really try to give it all we got to try to let you know what's going on during the game, what both teams are trying to do, and where you are, and draw up a story hopefully in 48 minutes and have a little fun. It's a lot of fun. Are you there, Coach?
We all appreciate you very much.
All righty, Coach. Be good, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Stork. See you, man.
See you, bye.